Valerian is a very massive base on 2B2T. It was created in 2017, and the amount of detail, friendships, and hard work put into the base is unique. From starting in an empty field to massive structures and buildings, I'll be telling you the history of Valerian from the perspective of the base members. The story begins around mid-2017 when a player named Octopath was at a base with a player named Old Free Willy. The base they were at was griefed, so they moved items to an empty field and decided to leave the server until the next due to resupply and find a new permanent place to build. However, they never ended up leaving the field and created a few small buildings. Octopath built structures like a castle, a gold farm, and started to create a giant hub at the center of the base, but still had no intentions of permanently staying there. The base would stay dormant for the whole summer of 2017 since it got bored and wanted to do other things. Around May 2018, Old Free Willy invited his friend Big Bat YT to the base, and he would give it the name Valerian. The name came from a movie called Valerian and the City of 1,000 Planets. A couple of months later, Octopath met the players Cloverfrost, 1Charlie3, R2 Beaten, and Regicide through temporary bases built by a group called Builders Haven. They were a big group of over 40 plus members. However, with such a big group, it wouldn't last long. The fall of Builders Haven occurred when items started to go missing from the final Builder Haven stash. Suspicions were heightened from the short yet tumultuous Builder Haven project, in which a succession of temporary bases were griefed by untrustworthy members. They had an open invitation policy that allowed anyone to join from the Builders Guild Discord, and its failure was unavoidable due to this fact. However, Cloverfrost and a handful of other members developed friendships and trust through those bases. Octopath decided to help, and out of the 40 plus members of Builders Haven, he invited the most trustworthy and dedicated members. These players were 1Charlie3, R2 Beaten, Regicide, the Gender Bender, and Cloverfrost. The other players like G the Superman and Bluer joined later on. When more items started to disappear from the Builders Haven stash, the members would bring backup items to the site of Valerian. Soon, everything was gone, and Builders Haven disbanded, but would continue on in secret. There was finally life brought back to Valerian, and was officially founded on March 23, 2018. After a year of building, Valerian became a mega base. What was built during the time? Well, let's start at the center of the base. The hub was at the center of the base. Octopath finished building it and added custom trees. Later on, he added an island in the sky and named it Winter Green. The plan for the island was to eventually add 3 more islands and play Redstone Bed Wars. It would have shops where you could buy redstone, weapons, and armor, but they never got the chance to finish it. Going south from the hub led to the Valyrian City. Entering Valyrian City, you encounter an obsidian statue called the Angel, built by Octopath. The city had multiple houses, redstone machines, and inns. The most unique building in the city was Hog's Stomping Grounds, or also known as the Cathedral. It was mostly built out of stone brick, and took Octopath about a week to complete the exterior. However, he never finished the interior. When Cloverfrost wanted to try out pixel art for the first time, she wanted to make something special for Valerian. Hog's Cathedral was the unofficial icon of Valerian, so she wanted to use that. Cloverfrost also created the Valverian Banner. It was made in conjunction with the group's new logo. Diamond patterns feature heavily in it, so it made sense to make the banner a diamond too. This simple design lent itself to recoloring. For example, the Valyrian Congress banner was the same, but in gray. The dark green in Minecraft is a rich color, and they used a lot of green in nature in their builds. To the left of Hog's Cathedral held the Valyrian Congress Library and the Valyrian Congress. The Congress was built by Cloverfrost, and inside held Congress directories for each base member. Each base member had their own ministry and office. It was just for fun, and these roles weren't used seriously. Each member's ministry was based on their interests and talents. Cloverfrost believed that the difference between a good and a great base was custom terrain and trees. Old Free Willy enjoyed working out theories. Charlie had many connections and good relations with other groups. Big Bat made movie magic and added light to his builds. R2 Beaten enjoyed coding and working through things logically. Regicide ruled the mysteries of underground. G the Superman enjoyed exploring Spawn and reporting his findings, and the Gender Bender was renowned for his map art. For Cloverfrost, it was a way to learn about how government rules work. Outside the Valyrian Congress held the Purgatory Walk, Silk Road, and a checkerboard stadium. Base members would have chess tournaments occasionally and write down the scores and dates on a sign wall. The Purgatory Walk and the decoration on the Silk Road was made to mimic the peaceful forests of Purgatory too. Going down the Silk Road led to the downtown. This held the Valyrian dupe stash, having over 2,000 chests. It was filled to the brim with materials from the 2018 chunk dupe. Coming back to the hub and going north led you to the Glades. The Glades were built by Hawkton Phonics, Old Free Willy, and Cloverfrost. The Glades of Echoes were in a region called the Glades, and in this region they built multiple custom trees, birds, and a dragon. The flower was built by Hawkton Phonics and was over 200 blocks tall. Following the path led you to the Valyrian Village. This held many structures like the Valyrian Horse Ranch, towers, auction house, and the Museum of Impossible Things. The museum was built by R2 Beaton and showcased strange game exploits like floating torches, a one-wide portal, half beds, chests with more item slots, and much more. Going farther out from the Valyrian Village led you to Greater Valerian, which was also known as Casbah. This held their Iron Golem Farm and the Casbah Art Gallery. It was built by Hawkton Phonics. South from the Casbah Art Gallery led to Big Bad YT's football field, and was home to the Valyrian Hawks. Most of the map arts were made by 1Charlie3. He created the Billy Joel map arts and part of the Last Supper project. R2 Beaton created his first and only map art at Valyrian. It was a 2x2 map art of Big Brother from the book 1984 by George Orwell. In the book, Big Brother had a caption saying, "Big Brother is watching you." But for the map arts, R2 Beaton changed it to, "I recognize that block." In all, Valyrian became a thriving base. However, like almost all bases on 2B2T, they don't last forever. The coordinates to Valyrian were found by Tristan on June 1st, 2019. He contacted the group and said he had no intentions of griefing the base. However, one day when Tristan was in a 2B2T Discord group chat, he shouted the coordinates out in chat and was instantly kicked, but was too late. On July 22nd, 2019, the base was found and griefed by the players Big Bullet 638, I Hacked Walmart, and Offsets. For them, this was the biggest and most impressive base they had found. It was so big that they used nearly a dub of TNT on the base, and they had to end their probe multiple times to bring TNT. It took them nearly 4 hours to grief Valyrian. Later on, 2B2T YouTubers like Baron Dome, Hermetic Lock, Scribblefox, Breathin, and others toured the base. After the grief, members from Valyrian looked to see what were the remnants. Surprisingly, most of the base was still somewhat intact. R2 Beaton took an After Grief World download, and G the Superman and his friend the MLG Fox were going to make an attempt to repair the base. However, other events got in the way, and plans on rebuilding came to a halt. Scribblefox and Breathin invited the Valyrian group to other projects, and Hermetic Lock invited them to the Spawn Masons. Some of the group moved on to Moon Megabase as their next project, but that's a story for another day. Today, Valyrian is so recognizable. Not much has happened to the base after the original grief, but even in ruins, Valyrian still stands tall till this day. Thanks for watching. I would like to thank Cloverfrost, Old Free Willy, Hawkton Phonics, Big Bad YT, and R2 Beaton for their information in this video. Leave a like, and maybe consider subscribing for more information like this in the future. Anyway guys, stay fast, and see you guys next time.